Hi guys, good day. So welcome to the week 4 of our product design course. So in this week we'll be looking at mastering Figma, UI design tools and deep dive. I'm excited, and I know you guys too will be excited because you would a lot of you have been asking a couple of questions about Figma and the tool that we'll be using. So I think this one will be good. Most times people that wants to learn product design, they don't want to go through the theory aspect of it. Most people just want to jump into Figma and start designing. So normally most humans see theory as boring stuff, but practicals will get you engaged, and then you'll be seeing fun things. So happy that we are here for as many of us that still with us, that have been patient till this time. I told you guys to be patient. We will soon start working with Figma and do the fun stuff in product design. So this is our week 4, and then we'll try as much as possible to cover a lot of ground for this Figma deep dive UI design tools. And just have in mind that we are doing this course for beginners, so I will try as much as possible to explain everything like I'm talking to a beginner, because for most of you guys, you don't even know what Figma is. You've not even seen how the interface is. So I hope this course would help you, and then this week lessons will help you. So let's get into it. What are the objectives that we would cover for this section or this part of the course? We'll be navigating the Figma interface confidently. So I'll take you through the Figma interface. This is Figma already. Yeah, I did this on Figma. So, but we'll go in through all of the Figma interface. We'll use core design tools like frames, shapes, and text and color styles in Figma, because these are the basic for everything you'll be doing. You can't do without frames, you can't do without shapes to some extent, you can't do without text. Of course, there are text on your designs, and then colors also are important. So color styles would also be looking at how to apply auto layout. This is an interesting concept in Figma. Like I shared in our last interactive session, that I see people complain about auto layout online, maybe on TikTok or Instagram. You see some beginners complaining that, oh, auto layout is so difficult, they are not sure if they are ever going to understand auto layout is this and that. And I try as much as possible to just break it down for us in that live session to let us understand what auto layout is. But here we'll be seeing practicals, we'll be going through it, and we will understand. But just know that auto layout is not difficult. That's why you see it is automatic layout. You are not the one doing the work. Do you understand? You're not the one doing the work. So if it is automatic, as a matter of fact, this feature was created or designed, was done so that you don't have to do a lot of work. This feature was introduced to reduce the work. So when you see beginners saying auto layout is difficult, well, I don't know where they learned auto layout for, but you are going to see you are going to have a contrary opinion to them by the time we are done with our course for this week. So we will see auto layout, we will see constraint. You understand these grammars better by the time we start practicalizing, and then we'll deal with grids, and all of this will help us to create responsive designs, right? Our next objective also is to create, reuse, and organize component and variants. So there's what we call component in Figma. We'll be looking at component and variants also, and then we would conclude with prototype. We'll prototype simple user flows and share designs for collaboration. So by the end of the day also, you'd see how you would prototype our teachers beginners friendly prototyping skills, and then teach us how to share designs for collaboration, because as a product designer you are not just designing for yourself. You are not the only person interacting with these designs, yeah, even though for most of the cases you will be the one that have the editing user permit on the file, but then you will share this file with other stakeholders. You share the file with the designer, sorry, I beg your pardon. You share the design with the developers that would develop this design. You will share this same file with product managers that would manage the product. And in some cases, you would share the file also with clients, maybe a prototype link that you share with client, or you could even have a section of the design that you want to share with client for design review and approval. You know, client needs to see your design, approves it, and every party or every stakeholder is in the same line before you even start going to or your team start developing, your engineers start developing your design. It needs to be approved first. That's a good practice. Not just doing a design for a product and then jump the gun and developers start working on that design, and even before the client would see it, you guys have already started developing. No, it doesn't work that way. So when you do your design, you do more of an internal review with your team. They will review the design, give their input, you take corrections, you implement, and then you will now push it out to the client that would also review the design. And then if the client is satisfied and okay with it, gives you feedback if there is any. But if there is no feedback, then you will just mark the design as ready for dev. So we would understand even how to mark the design and your screens and everything, how to properly do like a proper handoff if you are working as a freelance, or if you are working as a team, how to structure your design, put them in section, how to do a proper flow for your design so that it will be readable. Anybody can just view the file and then understand the flows and everything. Putting sometimes you need to put some annotation, some text to properly describe your flow and all that. So it's going to be an exciting week, right? So let's get into it. So let's start. What is Figma, right? I'm just going to use this canvas to do all of our practicals, and then this is the Figma interface. So what is Figma? Figma is a browser-based design and prototyping tool. It's a browser-based design and prototyping tool. Now you could use Figma on web, just like I'm using. I have it on web. You see this tab. That's where I logged in, figma.com, and then I logged in with my account. So you can use Figma on web, and you can also download Figma on the app, right? So let's check figma.com. You search figma.com. I'm using a private tab because if I use like my normal tab, I have Figma logged in already, so it will just take me to my account. So if you go to figma.com, you see, let's go to their website. You search it on Google, you see their website. So this is the landing page for the Figma website. So you could see, think bigger, build faster with Figma. Figma helps design and development teams build great products together. So we are product designers, so excuse me, it's a very good tool to use. So get started for free, contact sales. What else? So this is the Figma interface. You see on their website, they're trying to show you the Figma interface and what you can do. So this is someone doing a design, a mobile application design on Figma, and this stuff, by the time I open Figma, you would see all of this stuff is the number of people that have access to this file. It's not just the designer. So these other guys here could also be other designers or other stakeholders. They could be project managers, they could be developers that would want to see this. So Figma have a left tab and a right tab. So I will do that by the time I'm logging. So I just want you to see the Figma website. You see all of that. So you could explore this in your own free time, right? So when you get here, if you have the account, you can just go ahead and log in. But then if you want to create a new account, you click get started, and then it's telling you to continue with Google or email. So I have all of this already. So I'm just going to log in with my account. But not here, I have it logged in. So I'm just going to switch to the other tab while I continue. So we are back. I'm logged in already to my own Figma account, right? So if you are logged into Figma, before you get to even all of this item here, let's go back to files. You would see something like this, right? You would see an interface like this where you could start creating new projects. All of these are like projects, and then you have files inside of those projects. So you could create new projects. There are a couple of things here. You could see your drafts, maybe projects that you've opened before, either from you or not from you. Maybe the resources you see online that you just open, you find them on your draft. And then these are all projects. These are the ones you created yourself here. And then this is trash. Is more like a recycle bin for items that you've deleted before, right? So this is admin. So you could set up like admin for your account. So this is my name here. You could see Austin Beatrice. I'm the owner of this. I'm like the superior admin. And then I have another admin. This is my brother, by the way. I have another admin added to my file, right? So he is also serving as an admin, so I can invite other users if I want to, right? But let's go back to it. So if you click this item here, it will tell you to create what kind of project do you want to create. Is it a design file? Is it FigJam? Is it slides? Is it bros? Or the rest? But I don't want to bore us with all of these guys. Maybe this is just the beginner, and then we are trying to cover the design aspects of Figma for now. Maybe some other time we would deal with these other guys, but for now we are trying to cover the design aspect. So you say you want to create a design project. So when you click that, this is where it will bring you, right? It will bring you to this empty canvas. Now this is dark. You could change the theme of this if you don't want this color, and simply where you can change the theme is when you move to the right tab here. There are a lot of things here that I would explain to us, but then quickly, maybe yours came and it's black and you want a lighter canvas, you could just click this square here, and then it will bring you to this color picker area where you would customly pick the color you want. But I usually work with dark theme. I don't know about you guys, but if you notice my browser, everything, I'm a dark theme lover. So let's say you have something like this. Now to the left hand side, I'm still going to switch back to our original design project, but I just want you, because when you try to create a new file, this is what you would see. You would not see things maybe properly arranged like mine. So this is the name of your project, right? It's untitled. That is why they are telling you it's untitled. So you can click once. I'm left clicking, right? Left clicking. You click once, and then you can name it anything, maybe new project, and you click enter. So your project file has been named as new project. Now on this side of it, let's start with this guy here. The one thing you notice about applications and how computer works is, especially advanced applications now, if you hover over anything. Most times you see a tooltip pop up, and that's a good design approach for how these applications are built. So even if you have zero knowledge about an application, try to be curious, hover over that application. For most of the cases, you see a tooltip pop up, and then you see the designers of this application trying to guide you and tell you what that thing is about. You get, because not all icons or elements in not all buttons or icons have a text description on it. Sometimes, or most of the times, you avoid text description because of maybe that text description might cause a dysfunction of layout. It might affect your layout, or it might make things just so noisy, and it will not give you like a clean design. So imagine you have a text here, it might not be very fine, you understand? So most times they use those text description as a tooltip. So when you hover over that icon, then the text description will pop up. So you see they're telling you minimize UI. So when we click this, you'll notice this left tab and the right tab will be minimized. Let's say you are working on this, your canvas, this space is your canvas. You want to do a design here, but you want these guys to be minimized. So when you click this, you notice what happened. All those sides are minimized, right? So let me try to answer a question that a couple of you guys were asking during our live section, that can you use Figma on mobile? I've answered the question already, but then I want you to see why I answered it that way. You see all of these things. Now imagine you want to do all of these things on mobile. Figma was not designed for mobile. Even though we have a mobile version of Figma, you could download Figma for mobile on your iOS. Don't know if it's on Android, but I suspect we should have it on Android too. But most of the times when you see people having tools like this on their mobile, I used AutoCAD to give us an example. You have an AutoCAD application for mobile, but if you check the Play Store or wherever you are getting it from, most of the time you would see the title, they even name it AutoCAD Viewer. So they name it AutoCAD Viewer because they know in the real sense it will not make sense. It will just drive you crazy trying to do a house plan design on mobile with AutoCAD. It will be crazy. So it's also the same thing trying to use Figma and do a Figma design on mobile. It will just be crazy. It will honestly be crazy. So that's why the mobile is not very effective, and I encourage you try and get an average laptop that you can use for this. So let's go back to the interface we're talking about. So I click this icon to minimize, so it hide. That is all minimize does. It reduce, it minimize the stuff you are saying, right? So but if you want that to come up again, then you click, right? So and then you notice something when you go over the icon, you notice shift plus /. That's the shortcut. Most times when you see a little text at the front of a label of an icon, for most of the cases they are trying to tell you that is the shortcut. So let's try it. If I hold down shift and I press /, what will happen? You see what happened? You guys can't actually see me, but that's what I'm pressing though. You hold down shift, you guys will practicalize this thing. So if I want to bring it back, is it the same thing? Yes, expand. Hold down shift and / on your keyboard and it comes back. So that is what this guy does for you. It is to minimize. As a matter of fact, I used this feature just today. I was having a meeting with my product manager on a particular app we were working on. So I was trying to show her, I was sharing my screen and I was showing her stuff. And she said, please, can you minimize these tabs by the right, by the left? It's actually distracting me. Now imagine I don't know how to do this, so I don't know the feature. You just get embarrassed. So I quickly, even though I didn't use the shortcut, I was holding my mouse, so I just quickly minimized. So that's as simple as that. It helps you create a clearer canvas where you can work without distractions. You understand? So let's continue. Let's bring back our items. So we are still trying to look, we are still going through the Figma interface, you need to understand all of these aspects before we now start going into other elements in Figma, right? So what do we have here? If you see this main menu, just like I said, that tooltip will come up with the label main menu. So when you click, you see back to files. If I click this, it will take me back to that section where I can create a new file or see my draft or see all project or see trash and so on and so forth. But we're not going back, right? So if I click action, what happens? I'm going to try as much as possible to be fast so that I don't take much time. This tutorial doesn't get so long, right? So long. For some of the things, I'll give us an assignment to go and explore. I'll give us some resource link that would go watch some videos and do more research about these things and understand them. Maybe a more lengthier video, right? But let's just go over it quickly. So if you click that action, it brings you to this area where you could see your assets, you could see plugin and widgets. We will treat this maybe some other time. Plugin and widgets. Plugin are extras. They are like, just like it's called plugin, they are like additional features or functionalities of an application that is designed as a plugin. Is designed as a third-party feature that you attach to the application to perform some certain tasks. Do you understand? So plugins are not just peculiar to Figma. You have plugins for almost a lot of applications, especially development applications like this, designs applications, and so on and so forth. You have plugins. So this, for instance, are some plugins that maybe I used recently. Lotify for animations, tiny image for image compression, and this does export GIF also. Font Awesome, maybe we've heard of Font Awesome. So it's an extra plugin that if you click, you will access, and then it will help you import some features to your canvas. So this is where you get plugins and widgets. You could just search. It's a free library. You could search for anything. What should I search for? For instance, if you are looking for mockup, you could just search for free mockup, right? Maybe you do designs and then you're looking for mockup. So there's this guy here, mockup plugin. So once I click, you see it's showing me a preview of the plugin, and so this mockup plugin, device mockup, print mockup, and so on. So if I click run, let's see what happens. It begins to run the plugin. You see this is an attachment, so it begins to run the plugin. I close this, yes, continue, and all of this, and then it's telling me access to whole mockup library. So it's a paid plugin, but then there are free stuff also. Do not show me this again. I don't want that. So once you open the main plugin like this is a mockup plugin. You could just come here and search. I'm just quickly trying to show you what plugins are, right? So this is a free. You see all these mockups here, they are free. So if you do a mobile app design, right? If you do a mobile app design, should I quickly practicalize for you guys? Wrong way. Let me bring out a frame. For mobile, let's do iPhone 16 Plus, right? So I have this, and I have let's say I've done a mobile app design, right? And then so don't start getting confused. What is this guy doing? I'm just trying to experiment what you can do with that mockup, right? Let's say I have an application like this, a mobile app that I have designed, and this is my mobile app. Maybe it's a renting app that you could search. You could search for properties, right? So this is like a search, and then you see property listing here, a card, property listing card, and then you see their description. Am I taking too much time doing this, guys? I'm just trying to do a shortcut, right? So let me give this a. So let's say you have a mobile app design. Don't mind my design, right? So this is a low fidelity mockup. So this is like the top bar, and then you have search, and then maybe you have a text here, a text that probably say find a home or anything, or welcome, or whatever. Let's even say so you log in, there's your profile picture is here. Yes, let's say you have something like this, right? Not too perfect. I'm just trying to show you what you do with this external plugin. So let's say this is my design and I want to present it to a client, right? So I could just come here and see this free plugin, right? I click the plugin and I click this plus. It will tell me click on any layer, group, or frame in your Figma. So this is a frame. I click it. What happens is telling me to crop. I say crop, and then you see my app, right? I click paste. Wow. So I have this free mockup for my app, right? We'll go through this later, but I'm just trying to go through them one after the other. So this is what this plugin does for you now. This is not inbuilt, it's an attachment that you use on your Figma. How nice. So you use this, guys, for presentation, right? So let's continue what we're doing. So we've seen, if you click this, we've seen action, you see file. You guys can check this yourself so that we don't waste unnecessary time here. Just like this, we talked about this new design, new fig jam, file, new buzz or new slide, and the rest of them. Save local copy, place image if you want to import an image or a video into this. If you want to export maybe your frame, export frame to PDF, create branch, another extension of this file, but let's not dwell on that for this beginners course right now. So you see other things like edit. We go to edit, you undo, maybe undo is like Ctrl Z. So I told us that most times if you check the right hand side of a menu or an option, it will show you the shortcuts. So you can preview all of these, copy as if you want to copy an item, paste over, and a lot of this, so you guys can go through it. But I would focus more on the areas that we'll be using to work, that you can use to produce your design from scratch to finish and hand over. So I don't want to bore us with a lot of things, because if we keep going through them, we will not be done, right? So you can view, you can go all of this. So there are just a lot of options, a lot of things that you can do. And one thing you'd see here also is your file, right? So this file is just trying for organization purpose. So on your file you get pages. These are things that you can see, right? So we have just one page, so you can create a lot of page depending on how you want to structure your project. Let's say the first page is, let's make this the first. So if you double click, you can name your first page. Let's say this is our cover page, right? And then you will now do whatever you want to do. Maybe do a cover, just like your project, how you do a cover page. Put the name of the project and say this is our new project. Put the project title. I'm just doing this roughly, right, so that we would understand some of the things that you can do on a cover page. So all of this you will do them yourself. Maybe project title. All right, let's give this. Don't mind me, I'm not trying to be perfect here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you can do. So if you like, you can put a project title, you can put product designer. Don't know even if most people do this stuff I'm showing you guys, but it's just for organization. You put the project title, a new project, product designer. You put your name, Usman John. That's not my name, by the way. Okay, let me use my name, Austin. I want this to hug, and then whatever you want you can do. You see I'm using auto layout. We'll talk about this. So you can just do whatever you want. You can put team members, that's if you like. So you can start putting your team member. You can put Usman right now. Usman John. What is Usman? Back end engineer. Yeah, you can put Mary Bello. Who is she? She's a front end engineer. And then you can put maybe John, whatever the name is. Who is John? Maybe he's the product manager, right? So you can decide to style this. I don't waste my time styling these items now, right? But you can decide to style this anyhow you feel like styling them. Yeah, you can just decide to style them anyhow you feel like styling them. So, but this is just your cover page, so you can decide to put the project title, the product designer, which is you, your team members, maybe start date, and some other information about the project, correct? So you can use this as your cover page, and then you can move forward to say if you're designing maybe a mobile app, so you can say mobile. You just name this base, give it a name that would make sense, right? Just give it a name that would make sense. So it could be mobile design. Some people like using mobile design screens. So if an engineer is navigating this now, you have a mobile app engineer that wants to build what you have designed. So when he logs into this file, he will just see mobile design screens, and then he come here and then he sees everything that pertains to mobile. If it has a web version also, you can do web admin screens. Maybe it has an admin, the app you're doing. So you have your admin here also. You could decide to say trash. You could decide to have a page called trash where you move your trash items here. You don't delete them, you move them, because sometimes you want to revisit, right? You could decide to have you could decide to have components. Some people like to put theirs for organization's sake, components. So this is where all your component items would be. So this is an example of a page. These are like different sections, but they are all in the same file. So it depends on you. You could style this. You could be creative and put your own style to this. So I just use an empty page and name it. Put this underscore as the name. I could use this to put a demarcation, right? I could duplicate this page, put a demarcation from main designs and then admin, right? So this is telling you too, because you can't have the same name, right? So this is an example of pages. So you see pages on the left hand side, and then you name your pages, and then you have, so on this cover page I have the information about this project, and on the mobile design screens I have my mobile designs on the side. And then if you go to web admin, maybe you start seeing my web designs here, correct?